Hello everyone, it's Talya Rose. Thank you so much for watching. Today I wanted to go over some of the different literature that I read as I was planning to be a parent and then also when I first became a parent. And I may have over-prepared a little bit because I just felt like I didn't quite have a grasp of what it would look like to be a parent. Even though I had tons of siblings, I had 5 of them and helped raise them and I would babysit all the time, when it came down to like what to do when that baby first came out and then like what parenting style that my husband and I were gonna adopt, I really wanted to be clear and focused and both he and I be on the same page. So I went a little overboard and I read a lot of books. Some of them I have right here. Really, I read more than this. This was just like some of them that I read. So getting started, one of the books that I read when I was first pregnant that I'm sure every woman reads, it's incredibly popular, is What to Expect When You're Expecting. And this book is great because it covers everything. However, just a word of caution, this book has so many worst case scenarios in it because it literally lists everything that can go wrong during a pregnancy. So I would recommend that if you are going to read this book, just read the things that apply to you and then stop. Don't read the full chapters. I read this cover to cover and it was a great book, very insightful. However, it just really scared the living daylights out of me because, oh, you can get this and this can happen and this can happen and this can happen and your baby can come out like this or deformed or this or that. I mean, it literally has everything in here. And so it really freaked me out. Now, one of the books that I read on labor and delivery that I absolutely loved was Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. Now, this is mostly designed for a woman that's planning to give birth at home or in a birthing center all naturally. However, it also very well prepares you and gives you an idea of what labor and delivery looks like even in a hospital and even if you're not going to be doing it naturally. And it does present the case for reasons why a woman would want to have a natural childbirth, but it does it in a non-condemning way. And also the back half of the book are all just birthing stories and I absolutely loved reading it. It really was great. Some of the stuff in here was a little kooky. I don't know if you've heard about it, but the movements that are like where women are trying to have like pleasurable births or so, it's ridiculous. There's no such thing as a pleasurable birth in hypnobirthing and all those different techniques. But it's really great, very comprehensive, and it really kind of got me in the mindset of okay, what it's gonna look like. And I loved reading all the stories in the back. So this one was great. I wanted to breastfeed my child, so one of the books that I read on breastfeeding was The Womanly Art of Breastfeeding, and this one was a little thick for my taste, a little too intimidating. It had too much. It was very repetitive and redundant, but it worked great as a go-to guide because it had a lot of scenarios where like, oh, if you're experiencing XYZ, look on this page. And so that was very helpful. But honestly, I wouldn't say that this is a must read because it just is so thick. If you are planning on breastfeeding your child, then I would recommend purchasing this. Just don't make it a cover-to-cover read like I tried to make it. Life is too short to read a book the size of the Bible on breastfeeding your child. No. Now this is one book that wasn't too intimidating, so it was nice and short, and I actually made my husband read this one with me. It's Preparation for Parenting, and this book was good because it gave me an idea of what a typical day with a newborn in the first week might look like, and then a typical day, you know, 3 months old and yada yada yada. And it literally gives like feeding schedules and things like that. Now, for my taste, this was too strict and too stringent. There were a few gold nuggets in there that I did enjoy getting, but the reason I'm recommending this book is just because it gives you a good idea. So if you have never been around a newborn really and seen what it looks like, or you can't really picture what it's going to look like with your own child, read this just to ease your mind and kind of give you a structural idea, but do not follow it word for word. But for the most part, it was great. It talks about balancing your life and not letting the baby just take over and how to integrate them well. So this was a good one. I liked it. And again, not too long and a good one to read with Dad so he can kind of get on the same page as you. This book, kind of the sequel to What to Expect When Expecting, is What to Expect the First Year. And like the first book, this one is great because it really does list everything. So if your child gets sick, you can go, there's a whole giant chapter on when a child is sick and lets you know where your child should be at as far as milestones go and everything. But again, I caution you, it's the same thing with the first one. It gives you all the worst case scenarios, and there's a whole chapter on SIDS, the infant, death syndrome, and it's good to know how to prevent it, but at the same time, it scared the bejeebus out of me. It does have a lot of great information in there, but it's all mixed in with doomsday mentality for a mom and looking at everything like it could potentially kill your child. So just keep that in mind if you are purchasing this one. You just need to remain balanced with it. Okay, now a big no-no that I want to show you is any parent magazine. Don't waste your time or money on these. First off, they're full of ads. So, I mean, literally you can just turn to any page, ad for what's for dinner, beef. But then there'll be articles about how you shouldn't feed your child beef and stuff. Oh, okay, vacuum cleaner. Oh, okay, dog food. And like, okay, Dove bar. I mean, every page you turn to, it's all an ad telling you why you need to buy something because it'll be best for your children. And it really it uses scare tactics to try to sell products. Like, did you know the air quality in your house could kill your child or give them cancer or blah, 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 buy this air purifier. It's just a little bowl. So also the pictures make you feel bad. Like, is that what we're supposed to look like? All perfect in a beautiful little home where the dad's like in matching clothes and the mom's all happy and smiling with no dark circles under her eyes. It's like, come on. Let's get a realistic shot of what this is gonna look like. Our ads, look at that. Sir, you need this. Look. Identity guard. Don't leave your kids exposed. Like, buy identity guard for your kids. Are you for real? Also, don't really give any good advice because they don't want to strap themselves down to one idea or one belief or one parenting philosophy. They want to be so politically correct that they have absolutely no opinion whatsoever, and they literally just have pictures that make you feel bad about yourself. Don't do it. Now, another good parenting book that I recommend is Bringing Up Bebe, and this one is really fun. This one was about a journalist from America that moves to France with her British husband, and it's there in Paris that they decide to start a family and have kids, and she looked at the way she was raising her kids and the way that all the French women were raising their kids, and there were huge differences, and she adopted some of the ideas of the French culture and kept some of her own, and it was just a really great perspective and looking at why we do what we do in America. I really did enjoy this book, and it gives a lot of great ideas on how to maintain your life as an individual and as a married person without losing your identity once kids come. And so I really thought that that was great, and it's a healthy, good perspective, and it's learning how to be strict without being overbearing, and learning how to be caring without being a helicopter parent, making your kids eat everything, making sure that you're the final authority and that they listen to you, and that when you say no, it's a no. Just a lot of great ideas and advice. I highly recommend this one. It's great and it's a fun read. Now, two books that you probably wouldn't really associate with parenting, but I think are fabulous for parenting and very important, is one, Lie Spotting. I think that especially as your kids get older, you need to have that third eye in the back of your head and that sixth sense that's going to tell you whether or not your kids are full of BS and if they're really going where they say they're going to go. And my child's only 1, so I can't really utilize that on him yet. But my sister, who's pretty much like my daughter, is 16, and I'm all over this book. Okay, now the last book that I actually think is the most important book to read as a new parent is, wait for it, drum roll, The Proper Care and Feeding of Husbands by Dr. Laura Schlesinger. I can never pronounce her last name. Schlesinger. Schlesinger. Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Dr. Laura Schlesinger. That is a messed up name. If I were her, I would have changed that. I don't know how she became so famous on that name, but anyway, this book is great because as women especially, it's so easy to lose sight of the other important things in your life once you have a child, and your husband and your relationship is key. And if you're going to be a good mom and a good parent, you need to have a great marriage, I believe. So you're a mom, yes, but you're still a wife, you're still a lover, you still have your own identity. It's really important not to lose sight of yourself as you have kids, and not to lose the intimacy in your relationship with your husband. So anyway, I would love to hear from you guys if you have any other books that you would like to add from that list, or any no-no reads like the parenting magazines or things like that, things that were not only not helpful to you, but did more harm than good. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you and see if there's any that I need to go out and buy and read. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks, bye.